Grade 9 Exoplanet Synthesis Questions on Planet E5U. Question 1. Answer. Planet E5U has water vapor, which is known due to the presence of hydrogen and oxygen and the fact that the temperature is likely above freezing due to the apparent luminosity from the star. This is known due to the high apparent luminosity, meaning the planet would also be warmer. Due to the slower rotation of planet E5U and the lower atmospheric pressure, the weather would be less violent and tempestuous. Due to the Question 2. Answer. The sandy clay loam soil has the advantage of being a good balance between clay and sand for a foundation due to its balance of percolation, stability, and compaction, meaning generators and energy plants would be easier to build on the surface. Question 3. Answer. The nutrients located with the soil are subideal for growing plants, such as the lack of phosphorus and potassium. These suboptimal soil conditions can be easily fixed with the addition of fertilizers. The best fertilizers for providing phosphorus and potassium would be compost due to the slower release of nutrients into the soil, and monopotassium phosphate, which includes both phosphorus and potassium, which are essential for the growth of plant life and the phosphorus cycle. The higher levels of nitrogen that are already present in the soil are essential for primary succession, which will happen after the addition of fertilizers. The atmosphere possesses water and sulfur, meaning plants can grow outside of the research station as the addition of fertilizers is placed. Question 4. Answer. The main source of energy on planet E5U will be solar power due to the high luminosity of the planet and slow rotation. This means there will be prolonged exposure to sunlight due to the 28-hour night. Hydropower would also be viable due to the large presence of liquid water on the planet's surface. During the 20-hour night, the energy generated from planet E5U's star will need an alternative battery that can hold energy for a long period of time. To combat the downtime when the research station will be pointed away from the star, a gravity battery would be effective in storing energy across the whole rotational period. During the long night, gravity storage can be released slowly over time. A gravity battery works when mass is lifted to generate potential energy that will be transferred into electricity as the mass is pulled by gravity. The lowered gravitational field strength of planet E5U means gravities will fall slower but also be easier to lift. Question 5. Answer. Our research station should be located on one of the poles of the planet, as due to the high temperature of our planet's surface, it would not be possible to have a stable research station anywhere else. The problem with constructing a research station on the poles, however, is that the solar panels would receive less sunlight, as well as the solar panels would degrade faster. To balance these out with the high temperature anywhere else, the research station could be built around the 60 to 75 degree latitude mark to maximize energy production while also not frying any plant or human life outside of the research facility. The lowered atmospheric pressure would also mean less light would scatter more, meaning more would reach the surface where the panels are located. In the event we place it on the poles, a higher plateau could be constructed, which would take extra resources but also increase the energy production of solar panels. Question 6. Answer. The lowered 0.5 atmospheric pressure would generally be bad to humans due to the lowered oxygen levels, though planet E5U has approximately 33.33% oxygen instead of Earth's 21% oxygen. This means that the atmosphere would be viable for breathing, though the inhabitants would acclimatize to the lower oxygen levels. An example of this being an advantage is Kenyan runners, who train at higher altitudes, leading them to have an increased concentration of red blood cells, augmenting the ability to transport oxygen across the body. Hypothetically, if there is a competition between humans born on Earth and humans born on E5U, inhabitants of E5U would have a much greater advantage due to the aforementioned increase in red blood cells. The slightly lower gravity of about 80% Earth's gravity would not cause harm to humans, and the following generations on planet E5U would be able to adapt to the altered gravity over time. Question 7. Answer. This planet would be a relatively good site for a research station as the atmosphere is livable, the temperature is good, and the soil could be operational for vegetation to grow with the addition of fertilizers that are high in potassium and phosphorus. The planet's calm weather would also make it a safe environment for colonization and research to take place. The volume of energy generated by solar panels would also provide a self-sustaining energy source that would require fairly little maintenance. Calculation for gravity on E5U. The gravity formula is G equals universal gravitational constant times mass over the radius of the planet squared. The radius of the planet is 5.92 times 10 to the 6 meters, meaning that our radius squared would be 3.50 times 10 to the power of 13 meters. The universal gravitational constant times the mass is 2.756 times 10 to the 14. The universal gravitational constant times the mass would be 7.87 meters per second squared over 3.50 times 10 to the power of 13 over 2.756 times 10 to the power of 14 is 7.7 meters per second squared. This is around 4/5 or 80% of the strengths of Earth's gravitational pull. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed.